another edition of Celebrity Myxer, and I'm your host, Alexus Renée. Today's special guest is a dope lyricist with street gritty rhymes who illustrates masterful pictures through his words. He recently released an album called Chicago, a third world city. So without further ado, let's welcome Chicago's very own Philmore Greene to the show. Hello. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. We did a brief interview when I hosted Classic Hip Hop Lives, and I wanted to bring you back because I wanted to discuss your new stuff you got going on. So for those who are new to you and your music, tell us who Philmore Greene is and describe your music.
Philmore Greene is an artist from the west side of Chicago, born and raised. Paint pictures with words. I manipulate words to where as though you can see them when you're listening to them. You know, my style is a street hop vibe. You know, if you listen to the golden era music, your Nas, Jay-Z's, DMX's, Big Pun's, those are the people I studied growing up. Cool G rap. We can take up the whole segment talking about the people I grew up studying. But if you listen to those golden era MCs, you'll get that street hop vibe, that gritty storytelling, and, you know, mixed with smooth melodic ways of flowing. You know, I got different patterns, and that's what I painted as street hop music. Street mixed with hip hop, but also that good feeling that I can touch every end of the table. That good, good vibe music.
Absolutely, you know? That's why I loved your music, and I was like, we gotta do this again because you're super dope.
Yeah.
I have to give it to you. Now, the title of your album is Chicago, Third World City. Why did you pick that title?
Well, one day I was looking at the Chicago Sun-Times, and it had Chicago next to two other countries, Afghanistan and Iraq, and it had the numbers for the murder rate of the year, of that particular year. I forgot, I think it was like 2016. So of course, what struck a thought to me was that Chicago had more murders than those third world countries. So I instantly thought, like, Chicago could be like a third world city if you take away the suicide bombings over there and replace it with people with drug abuse, killing themselves with using, these strong drugs that's slowly killing them on the inside. You replace that. You replace the infrastructure of the government with the corrupt politics over here, and that's why you see on the album cover, it's an element on the album cover that reflects every song on the record. So I thought to myself, if you replace those things and put them over here, Chicago in essence would be like a third world city, but a different form of it. And that's what you got when you hear Chicago, third world city.
Yeah, and that's very true, and we got to do better as a city because it's like horrible while this murder rate. I mean, our babies can't even grow up nowadays. Go out and play, simple things that we used to do when we were little.
Yeah.
Can't even do that right now.
There's something on the album that reflect that. You see the baby on the album cover holding the picket signs with the Target in front of them. That represents the school closing, that happened in 2013, and the Target in front of them, they're killing the babies. You know what I'm saying? But
yes.
My thought for that is, like, if crime pays, it's sad to say it, but crime pays, man. The judges and the lawyers and the state's attorneys and stuff, they want us to kill each other. They want crime to happen because if it was Amityville in Chicago, nobody would have jobs.
Absolutely.
Which is crazy, but we gotta empower others like we're doing right now. You're a business, I own businesses, and we're trying to push each other forward and do it at the same time.
Absolutely.
Totally
agree. And then, so you did just touch a little bit on the album cover, and I really love the artwork that's illustrated on there. So can you give us a little bit more depth information about the artwork?
Well, the artwork, salute to my brother Zeph Farmby. He's from Chi, but he lives in Brooklyn right now. He's a well-known artist throughout the country. He traveled all over the world. He traveled, you know what I mean? Zeph is a dope artist, man. I gave him 6 months in advance. I told him the concept of the album, and Hadee wasn't done mixing some of the records. I don't even think we started mixing them, but I would take my phone and record some of the joints, and I would email him the video recording so he can get a feel firsthand of what the music sounded like, the major records. And then he sent me back something. I didn't like it. I was like, you know, I could do this on my phone. Give me some
more.
Yeah, give me something Zeph Farmby do.
Okay.
He busy, but it was still dope, but that wasn't the vision we was looking for.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say what concept he sent me because somebody may take it, I wanna use it. I may wanna use it down the line. But he sent me something and I told him, nah, I need that Zeph Farmby, something people won't be able to do. He said, say less, gave me another week. He sent me a draft without color, and we just started building on from there. And he built it around the music. Something I told him verbatim, I said, I want the album cover to be an event within itself. So that's why when you see the woman on the cover, it's clear that she's a stripper with the graduation cap on. That says a lot, that make you think. It's a record on there, The Grind, symbolizes that. You see the drive-by under the, I gotta look at it. There's so much going on in the album cover, but it take you on a ride.
In our review of your album, my editor says, I'm gonna just quote him really quick, I enjoyed the excellent marriage of deep lyrics, dope beat production, compelling storytelling, brilliant album artwork, and how it all correlated to the music from start to finish. Elaborate on all those important points that make for good music.
Compelling. It sounds like a movie review. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, it's just passion, man. Just pure passion. You know, this is something I grew up doing and I love it. Music kept me alive over the years, man. Kept me sane. You know, I love music. I love every element of it. I remember listening to, it was a DJ Clue mixtape. This is how crazy it is because I remember the actual record. It was a record called Thugged Out. Whenever y'all get a chance, go listen to it. In the beginning, it's a bunch of scratching DJ Clue's doing. I listened to the scratching part. I kept rewinding it. I listened to the scratching part about 50 times before I even listened to the music. That's how detailed I am about music. But the way it reflects me, man, I listen to the other people. I listen to Hadee and all his catalog. And, you know, I listened to him before I knew him, you know. So it's just being a student. Being a student, and if you be passionate about something, it'll take you a long way. And on every record of Chicago, Third World City, I felt a certain way when I was creating those records. And I like to incorporate stories within my music to give you a different experience. And that's what I enjoy the most. And I think everybody else, if they take a second to listen to it, they would actually enjoy it too. I love stuff that has a meaning and substance. And that's exactly what you give. Thank you, thank you. Substance is everything, man, because it's so, everything is so oversaturated with just minute rice. You know,
absolutely.
Cook up the Thanksgiving meal, get the greens ready, the sweet potatoes, put everything together, take your time, and you'll have a wholesome meal, and that's what Chicago Third World City is. You know, we took our time with it. You know, this record
definitely reflects that.
Was made over a course of, what, 5 years.
Celebrity Myxer came out and we covered your live show not too long ago.
Thank y'all for that too.
No
and
problem.
A review.
Absolutely, and it was a solid display of classic hip hop, okay? Now if you guys missed it, don't trip, okay? We got a little coverage, so take a little second to check it out.
1, 2, 3, 4. See my whole life wondering how we lived in the field with niggas that kill and bitches that lust with grown will. We gotta eat, roll with your man, cold deep and fuck with the feds and watch how they train your dogs and speak. We the land of the free, you follow your family tree. Whether it's Ivy League or you trying to hustle deep, murdering sprees and high pursuit for the cheese. Custodian, how we holding it, cleaning up with them. Watch for canines, shorties in pre-K going spray nines into the mosque. Muhammad is searching on your baseline. 50 for 40, 9 millies in text. No sinister for the minister, he ain't going like X. It's the land of found tragedy, playground casualty. Sandlot to the block, the fan full of agony. Real time grabbing me, hard times actually. Trying to keep the grim reapers from snatching me. Feel war. Reclining, listen in the summertime. Everybody a star, we all trying to shine. Stay focused, keep moving, get on your grind. Everything gon' pop, homie, in due time. Me and my people, we trying to get it. Me and my people, we trying to get it. Me and my people, we trying to get it. Me and my people, we trying to get it. Money folded, Frank Lucas first on the shoulder. Drink toasty till I'm worth $1 million posters. Tripping off the power, simply I'm one poster. Hard notion with the ones that want it ass like a coaster. I had to turn nothing into something. I wanna hit him, trust the beat. Say it. I had to turn nothing into you know that it's all love. I had to turn nothing into something. I say cash rules everything around me. So in the hood, on my grind is where they found me. So if you represent the slums, and you from where I'm from, smoke one, drink one, smoke one, drink one. Say cash rules everything around me. So in the hood, on my grind is where they found me. So if you represent the slums, and you from where I'm from.
Hey, that was super amazing. I hope that you guys just enjoyed that little snippet of Mr. Philmore Greene performances and all the other dope artists that was there.
Come out to the next show.
Absolutely. Come to all his other shows. They support our people from Chitown, okay?
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Now, what is your opinion on the state of hip-hop today?
Well, my opinion on the state of hip-hop is like it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, you know, because you can go, the whole thing about it is, and let me word this carefully. The whole thing about my opinion on the state of hip-hop is I love it, but sometimes I don't really rock with it. Simply because I love it, simply because I think I came in at the right time. You know, like I said earlier, it's oversaturated with a bunch of minute rice. You know, people don't, for lack of better words, they don't appreciate the art of making music, recording and coming up with it. It's just so fast. You hear a lot of artists say, I go in a freestyle and I just freestyle stuff. They put out albums 50 times a year. That's their prerogative, that's what they could do. But, you know, we live in a digital world to where as though I can sit on my couch and be in Japan at the same time. Absolutely. I can control my whole career from merchandise to distribution of music on my phone, smartphone. And opposed to back then, you hear people like David Banner, always use him as a good example, packing up 1,000 CDs in a trunk, driving from New York, from Mississippi to New York. That's a cool 15 hours. You don't have to do that anymore. But when you take that element away, it takes away from relationships in the physical. I can meet somebody in Japan, but I won't get that personal with them. To where as though if we meet in the physical and we see each other, you know, you can develop that relationship and see a person and be like, okay, that's a cool guy. You don't know anybody on the internet, right, but it's so common nowadays, people make it that way. So with music, it take away from the brick and mortar style of walking into, I remember I was 15, leaving school, I would go to my mother's house. She lived up north. I went to Marshall out west. Leaving school, I would take the 22 Clark bus, and every time I got a few dollars, it was a Tower Records. Y'all remember Tower Records? It was a Tower Records on, I forgot what street it was. I would get out and just go listen to CDs. They gave you the option to listen to it before you got it. It was an experience. Now you can just go to Spotify, Google Play, and just stream the music for free, but you don't have that experience. You don't grow with the music anymore because it's come and it's gone, you know. True. But then I benefit off of the fast-paced digital era because I have a bunch of supporters, not fans, supporters via the internet. But you know, you hate it and you love it sometimes. So I kind of like stand in the middle of the whole thing. I don't knock it. I don't knock the new artists. Sometimes I wake up and want to listen to a Lil Pump or something like that to get my day started. So I rock with the new artists and I rock with the state of hip hop, you know, because I'm a part of it. You know, whatever it is to keep somebody off the street and to keep them out of trouble, keep them from, you know, committing some type of crime, whether it's via music, I support that.
I'm with you on that one.
That's what it's about.
Absolutely, I'm with you on that one. Now, if Biggie and Tupac was here, how do you think they would feel about the state of hip hop? Now, before you answer that question though, we're gonna take a little break and cut to our sponsors, and then we'll be right back.
My name is Myxer, and I dream in black. Being from a place like the south side of Chicago, I've seen a lot of people lose their lives for so little. Just recognizing that life is a blessing is what empowers me. When I hear the phrase dream in black, I think of centuries of black excellence. Having the courage to dream beyond limitations that society may place on you. And across cultures, darker skinned people face more limitations. So in order to dream in black, we gotta be able to see past walls, boundaries, you know, the sky's not the limit. My name is Myxer, and I dream in black.
So your producer, Rashid, Hadee, he's super dope.
The dopest,
And
El
I
Chapo.
would love to bring him in so he can join us. So Rashid, would you come on in?
Come on in, brother.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, before the break, I asked you about the Biggie and Tupac and how you think they would feel about the state of rap today. Since I have your amazing producer here, I'm gonna have both you guys answer that question for me.
You want me to go first? If Biggie and Tupac was here, I would picture them to be on like a Jay-Z level right now. Much success to them, but different elements of it. Pac would have, you know, he would enrich the black community much more. You know, he knew a lot at a young age, both of those guys. It'd be I know for sure if Biggie was alive, it'd be much more artists from Brooklyn on right now. And the state of lyricism would be 10 times as great as it is right now. You know, I think they would empower others the same way Jay-Z is doing, you know, with like Jay-Z got Rock Nation Sports and stuff like that. I think he's doing exactly what those guys would do. And it would be less instant rice music. You feel me? That's what we're gonna refer to that as. We're not gonna disrespect it. Instant rice music and more soul food, wholesome music out here, because they wouldn't let a lot of these guys. Back in that era, you couldn't do it unless you was nice. I think it would be the same, but on a greater level. You know what I'm saying? If those guys were alive.
Yeah, Rashid, how do you feel?
Man, I would say, I mean, it's just a crazy thought to think about them doing, like, you know how Jay-Z has done songs with like Mike Will Made It. And,
Yeah.
you know, just thinking about that. Biggie doing a trap record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think over the course of time, like, you know, because it's been over 20 years, I think during that process, like artists like Sky Zoo would probably be bigger, because he would probably be, I'm sure Biggie would have embraced them. You know, artists like, who from the West Coast? Somebody, you know,
Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, Nipsey, yeah. Tupac would have been doing records with Nipsey Hussle and stuff like that early into his career.
Would have been crazy.
Early into their career. Might even have been the one to discover.
Right.
Tupac would have probably been on Chronic 2001, you know?
Can you imagine a Tupac and Biggie co-sign in 2019?
Oh my goodness.
That would be amazing.
That would be crazy.
I think
Crazy.
They both would be, if not big on a bigger level than Jay-Z, all of them would probably be playing on the same type of level right now.
True.
Definitely.
We would have so much more music that has a meaning to it, but not just you listening to it and you like it because the beat, but the person ain't really saying nothing. You would be loving the music because they saying something and the beat is dope.
Minute rice.
That's what I miss.
Minute rice.
Now, besides the album, what else are you guys working on?
Oh man, you can start that one first. This dude right here, and I'm gonna say this on camera. He got a lot coming up in 2019. He has. Now you heard Chicago a third world city.
Absolutely.
Recorded, mixed, mastered, produced over time. You know. Other projects, you can say them if you want, the names and stuff like that.
Next up, we got Neek coming with Quest
Bar.
Yeah, that's Neek's new album.
Recorded, mixed, mastered.
Neek did all the beats on that one.
Fable, Sincere, NRFS. I told him to answer the question. That's how excited I am about it. You know what I mean? Like, this dude worked hard, man.
Yeah, it's a nice little handful of projects coming. I'm actually going to reissue my second album, Oral Sex, this year. So it never was officially released back then in 2012, but we had a nice little run with it. We shot a video for every song on the album and released each video weekly. And you know, we had this was the days of the blogs and stuff like that. You know, so we were catering to that whole way of getting music out. So weekly we dropped a video just to keep the life of the project going and stuff like that, and also make people familiar with each record on the album as well. But now I'm gonna repackage it, new artwork and stuff like that. Artwork is gonna be done by Dada Soulface, super dope artist. Yeah, it's gonna be like 4 more additional songs on there. The original album had 11 songs, so it's gonna be 4 more songs on there that remixes and songs from that time that didn't make the cut that I really love. But, you know, it was kind of I was under different management at the time, so it's a little bit out of my power to the songs that went on there.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just in a little bit more control of it.
That's always good
to
have more power over what you're doing. And I'm excited because you seem like you got a lot of stuff going on getting ready to come out. So I'm going to be looking forward. Y'all make sure y'all look forward too.
Yeah.
Now, Philmore, tell me, how do you feel the reception has been of you so far?
I mean, you know, I just be myself, but I think that's what people getting. It's me, uncut, raw. You know, I'm a good guy. And you put out good energy and you get it back. You know, you treat people with good vibes and you bring good vibes upon people and you get it back. And I think that's all I've been getting. Well, I know, I don't think, I've been getting good reviews. I haven't heard, it was one person I heard say they didn't really rock with it.
Really?
But I'm not the type.
What's wrong with them?
Nah, I'm not the type, you know, that don't move me. Like, you can tell me right now you don't like nothing about me and I wouldn't care. You know, because I grew up with the mind state of who cares? You know what I mean? It's 3 words. Life goes on, you know? So that one person didn't rock with it. I mean, it probably wasn't his cup of tea. I'm not going to give him no shine, but it probably wasn't his cup of tea, and I got to be able to expect that. But everybody else, great responses, man. They call us like the Chitown Gangstar, you know, Primo and Guru. And that's an honor within itself, because Moment of Truth saved my life. It saved my life. I grew up to that record, and it changed me because it introduced me to the artwork that we created, you know, 20 years later. But everybody's been rocking with it, man, and I just appreciate all the love. This is the first time around for me. I could have been put out an album. I put out a mixtape in 2012, but I had no knowledge of sequencing records, mixing, mastering, you know, keeping it short but sweet. I had no knowledge of that stuff, but you know, I appreciate the love, man. Like, I give out that good energy to people and I got it back, and I expect it to keep coming in, you know, keep coming in.
About positivity. We're not gonna worry about the naysayers and the haters. We're gonna worry about all the positive vibes that we get.
It.
And then, so can you give some new Chicago artists some advice? Man,
advice. One thing I would say, don't be afraid to travel. Don't be afraid to travel. We did a record titled Time Traveling. Was that 2017? We did a record titled Time Traveling featuring rapper Big Pooh, Little Brother. And that whole record was about if my present self could go talk to my past self. You listen to it, I'm talking to my past and telling my past what to change and what to do different. So one thing I would tell artists nowadays is don't be afraid to travel. Don't be afraid to get out your comfort zone. And, you know, you always have a place to stay if you go out and travel and things don't go your way. You know what I mean? So that's what I would tell us, the new artists today. You know, do what you feel and be adamant about seeking ownership while you're doing it, you know, because nowadays you need that in order to progress. But that's the golden advice I would give anybody.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my interview with Mr. Philmore Greene and Rashid Hadee and enjoyed his dope music performances. Now, he's definitely the dopest MC rising out of Chitown right now, so make sure you check out his album, Chicago, A Third World City. And for more celebrity entertainment news and first look interviews like this one, log into CelebrityMyxer.com. That's Myxer with a Y. I would love if you guys would like, comment, and subscribe to this video. I'm your host, Alexus Renee. You've been watching Celebrity Myxer. Make sure you stay right here, stay mixed in.
It's the allure from things that shine on TV screens that make us all stick to the grind. We in the welfare state of mind. We go to food stamps to link cars to layoffs to unemployment lines. And now a man's forced to keep his lights on, juggle his right wrongs. Picture dimes, supermines in the alley, selling hope to the fiend, swapping out cash crack, both close to their dreams. And he wanna be around to see his daughter out the stroller. Take the first step so he watch over the shoulder. Fuck the law, no respect to this guy. If you look deep enough, you see regret up in his eyes. And now he's just a man, Bill, victim of a hard time. Now he's living on the grind. It be the beauty of the struggle, the non-stop hustle. The one part of your life, you gotta make them love you. The power of the dollar, the power of the mind, it's the grind. The grind. Working 2 jobs, never letting dudes starve. Pray over the food outside the dude's bar. She try to teach him that it's lessons through the hard times. She tell him he a king, I gotta let him shine. Show respect and get it back in return. Every loss is a lesson, it's the fact that he learned. Every woman is a queen with a man in his eyes tonight. She just wanna give her sunlight, sunlight. The shorty seeing crack pipes, needles deep in his mama veins. Hunger pains, watching him feel a shine. He want the fame, I'm the train late night. Feel the chill from the city, his committee down for some murders, letting them thump him fine. Old ladies on the phone fussing about that damn shoe and pray to God the Panthers a touchdown. No damn knew it. Rashid type mid-60s, real righteous. Praying for the youth, she know they lifeless and can't fight it. The city streets are quick to eat you alive. You celebrate it if you did a bit of C25. Bitches determined to vibe when they see what you try. We knock each other off just to get a piece of the pie. In the hood, killers love when it rain. Hit blocks looking for ops, you lack to get a slug to your brain. Niggas would rather kill you, ain't no shame. It ain't one rule or y'all won't change.
If he was real, I breathe down here, just a little different.
Just a little different.
It's like those wounds don't heal the same.
Same.
And all I know is pain.
All I know is pain.
To let the into rain, simmer down